Hi, I'm Jennifer Noel, creator of Writing from the Self. I've been a psychotherapist for over 20 years and also a psychology instructor at a local college. I have always loved to write, and in fact, I wrote my first book when I was 12. I've published a few memoir pieces and am currently working on a novel. In 2014, I decided I would like to combine my two expertise areas, writing and psychotherapy, and I began running workshops. In 2015, I founded a therapeutic writing center in Brunswick, Maine, called Room to Write. Through this center, I offer workshops and groups and also individual consultation. I describe Writing from the Self as a combination writing, workshop, and personal growth opportunity. It's not just about writing, and it's not just therapeutic, it's really both. I've designed a method that allows people to reach a deep level of mindfulness that increases self-understanding and provides new inspiration for writing projects. My material can be adapted to a workshop format, as a presentation or a training session at conferences, or also for retreats. I've taught the method to a variety of people, including writers and mental health professionals. There are a webinar and a book in the works as well. So, what is Writing from the Self? Well, the practice involves several important elements, including nature sounds, meditation, music, and, of course, a writing session. But I'd like to tell you a bit about the very heart of Writing from the Self, which is a therapeutic method called Internal Family Systems, or IFS. IFS was developed by Richard Schwartz, and it's considered a mind-body therapy. When I teach people about writing from the self, the first step is for them to understand what is meant in IFS by parts. So I talk about how IFS says we are all a collection of parts or sub-personalities. You know, like a part of me wants to go to work and please everyone there and do a great job. But then this other part of me hates my boss and just wants to quit. Or I have this really creative part of me that would love to spend all my time painting. But then I have a pragmatic part that keeps me busy cleaning all the time and ignoring my creativity. So we talk a lot in the workshops about parts. And once people understand what that means and start to identify their own parts, then we discuss the self. The self is something that's separate from parts. In IFS, we say that we can have self-energy or be in self. And this refers to a state in which we have space from all those parts of ourselves. You might recognize the notion of being in self if you think about how you feel after a really great exercise session, or when you've hiked up a mountain and you can finally relax and just look at the view. The qualities of self that are identified in IFS are clarity, confidence, calm, curiosity, courage, compassion, connectedness, and creativity. This is where Writing from the Self gets its name. One of the main goals of this process is for people to get into self when writing, to find space from parts and access that calm core at the center of their being. I also talk about the role of nature in getting into self, and we do a guided meditation before writing. The more we focus on the present moment, on the breath, and on being in our bodies, the more we connect with self-energy. Then we move into the writing session. I've developed specific questions that we repeat to ourselves during this 20-minute timed writing exercise. If we have enough self-energy, we can be a recorder or an observer, tuning into parts and hearing their stories. I also play instrumental music during the writing. This is to facilitate bilateral stimulation of the brain, to increase relaxation, to help people access memories, and boost creativity. I have found that writing from the self helps people in 3 main ways. 1, as a writing practice, when you access the deep stories of your parts, this can be a perfect starting place for working on a narrative or an essay of some sort. 2, there is a possibility for healing within the practice as you learn to use self-energy as a resource for your parts and even change parts' stories in surprising ways. And 3, if you engage in writing from the self practice in an ongoing way, and I recommend doing it daily for at least 1 month, you are likely to observe outward changes in your life. There is much more that happens in the method and so much that happens during the workshops. So I hope you'll keep exploring writing from the self. If you'd like to learn more about this program, about any upcoming workshops, or about how you can adapt it to your organization, please visit my website, www.roomtowrite.info, and get in touch. I would love to hear from you.